forward. So now I think you get to hear from my amazing supervisor, Antonio, who's also at my TJ.
Thank you, Gina. I just want to say I'm impressed by all the meaningful work that Dominican University students are doing in this community, and incredibly thankful to have Gina as one of our college interns. As you mentioned a little bit, a lot of our work is focused on keeping students in the classroom and out of the criminal justice system. We are thankful to have a pretty good relationship with the San Rafael City School District that when an incident happens and a student is on the verge of being suspended, they have an option of either saying, you know what, I'll take the suspension or let me go work with these guys and hopefully have my suspension waived if I complete all of the things that I need to. Like, if we get real honest about suspensions, they're just ineffective at addressing misbehavior. If you sit with a student and you ask them, like, what did you do during your suspension? They're likely to say, I was watching TV, playing video games, like I was eating all the food in the fridge. And if you talk to the school about what the goal behind the suspension is, it's like they want that student to learn that whatever thing they did is incorrect, but that's just simply not happening at home, right? Especially when you talk about the way in which suspensions disproportionately impact students of color. A lot of the families here in Marin who are low income are Latinos, and they simply don't have the ability to say, my kid's suspended for the next 3 days, so I'm just not going to go to work. That just doesn't happen, right? They need to work to keep the lights on. And that means that young person is at home unsupervised. And what often happens is they get into more mischief, and that mischief causes them to end up on the probation's radar. So we're doing everything possible to make sure that they're getting that education that they need and they're able to cross that finish line with the rest of their classmates. When you look at the data, suspension is a big indicator of somebody not completing high school. And one of the biggest factors of people ending up in prison is them not having a high school degree. So if we know that information, we should be putting all of our resources to making sure that every young person feels like they have the support that they need to get that high school degree. And it wouldn't be without the help of all of the amazing interns that we have that would allow us to just have such a high completion rate with all the young people that are referred to this program. I invite anybody who's interested in checking out Youth Court Peer Solutions, formerly Youth Court, which is a flagship program that has been in existence here in Marin for the last 20 years. And while Peer Solutions is great at addressing behavior as it happens, is a reactive program. So what we started to do now is move a little bit more upstream and work at elementary schools to provide like safe spaces where students are able to share with one another what's going on in their life. Because we know that schools here in Marin are incredibly segregated, and we want to break down some of those barriers so students that normally wouldn't interact with one another have an opportunity to do so. And also, it gives teachers the ability to identify, based on what everybody's sharing, which students might be having a difficult time and might need additional resources. Because when students are young, they're pretty cute, teachers are willing to work with them. But if those students don't get the help that they need early on, once they get to middle school and high school, and if they start to act out, they pretty soon get labeled, and teachers are much more reluctant to really have the same patience with them at that moment. And that's where students get suspended and oftentimes expelled. So if any of you are interested in checking us out, we hold hearings every Wednesday at 4:30. Those are open to anybody who wants to see them. And maybe I'll plug in my email. So if you guys want to reach out, you're welcome to. And if you want to see what we got going on for the next semester, feel free to reach out. So thank you again for all the amazing work.
Thank you so much, Gina and Antonio, for sharing all the important work that you have been doing.